Hello and welcome to the first in the series, so to speak, of my Xbox 360 generation history journey. This is the first part, and as you can see, this is the very first game I bought. This was PGR 3. It came out in America November 22nd, 2005, and December 2nd in Europe. Now, this was my first title. I think I actually bought this and Call of Duty 2 on the same time before I even got an Xbox 360. I bought them Christmas. I didn't get my Xbox until February of 2006. But I was a big fan of PGR 1 and 2 on the original Xbox, so I thought I would get PGR 3. That's how much I wanted an Xbox 360 and wanted these games. I bought them before I even had a console, so that's my dedication. Back then, it was a release title, very nice graphics. On the official Xbox magazine, it was actually voted Game of the Year, and it's best first-person Game of the Year, and that's in brackets the non-shooter category, because of its realistic car view. That's the thing that Microsoft showed off a lot. I really liked it. I liked all the different, like here I'm going to do a little cone gate gameplay, and I really like the different game modes rather than just racing against cars. So it offers 4 playable cities: Las Vegas, London, and New York, and Tokyo, and also you get to race around the Nürburgring. It features 80 licensed cars from over 30 manufacturers. It's Ferrari, Dodge, Lamborghini, you name it. In PGR Project Gotham Racing 2, car models made of 10,000 polygons, whereas this one they were able to use the cars 105,000 polygons per car, which is just incredible. And you can see how arcadey, how classic this game looks. I have got a cup of tea with me just to keep my throat moist, but as you can see, it's really smooth. And this is a 2005 game. We're talking 8 years ago, and the game still looks very good, still looks silky smooth. It plays well. The music, there we go, little bit of Block Party, and it just plays so well and so smooth. Even after all this time, I'm really rusty. One of the things I didn't like was such the huge gap between getting silver, gold, and platinum medals. Sometimes the game asks you to do so much to get them. It's crazy. Like, I'm going through a lot of the gates, but the game is really asking me to swerve around corners and things. So here's some more gameplay in a Lamborghini. I think it's a GTR. I'm very sorry if that's wrong, but I thought I'd show you some of the night racing. I think it's a Lamborghini Diablo. But I loved all the night and day tracks, and this is an overtaking game mode where you have to overtake as many cars as possible. And the music in this game was amazing. The graphics were amazing. The gameplay was just incredible. I really enjoyed playing this game. And this was back when achievements were quite hard. You could still get some hard achievements nowadays, but the cars were essentially split up into classes. You had you basically had A through to E, and the high performance, the best ones were A, and the low performance were E. Multiplayer, you had multiplayer offline, 2 players on one Xbox console, and then you can also have Xbox Live Gold. You can race up to 7 other people online. and it also allowed for online tournaments. And then the first one they had was the PGR3 Global Tournament. That was won by a Swedish player, by the way. I haven't got his name, but that's what they're saying. That's the information I've got. But no, I really enjoyed this game, and PGR Bizarre Creations, the studio, as a big, at the time it was a benchmade for a lot of other racing games. Since then, Forza has stepped up to the mark, and they've been producing some very good games. And but this was when racing games, I mean, going from this to Forza 2, I believe it was. Forza 2 had some very good cars, and I will talk about that when we go to that video. But Forza 2's tracks were just the same old, same racing against the same kind of cars, no change in the day, the weather, and that's a big point I'm going to make when we get to PGR 4, where you had ice and snow on the roads and rain and variable weather conditions. That's something that PGR tried to do, and also they included motorbikes in PGR 4. But PGR 3, very, very solid game, an excellent launch title at the time of 2005, and I just really, really enjoyed this game. And I think I have gone over 4 minutes of this, but we're about to go to the next game. Hopefully you'll recognise it. You can just tell that this is a World War II game. It was the second instalment in the Call of Duty series, and I think it's really the credit of these first Call of Duties helped it to, branch out. And yeah, the multiplayer also did help eventually, but it was a single player but like a noob, I'm going the completely wrong way, because I've totally forgotten that Call of Duties are based on that little medal checkpoint that you need to go and get. And this was when Call of Duty games were hard to get the 1000 gamer score. I did manage to get 1000 gamer score on this one, do it all on veteran, and this was, I think, was this the start of the Bermuda Triangle of grenades, I think, where out of nowhere you just have 3 grenades appearing around you in a triangle and there'd be no way out. But you'll see that later on probably in Call of Duty 3. But I've just set this up on, I think it's normal, I don't even think it's on easy. But I managed to find where the checkpoint was. So we go up there. It's obviously first person shooter. It's you take on, several roles of the allied protagonists. I don't think you're any Nazis in this, which would have been interesting. But anyway, it had multiplayer. Again, it had the deathmatch, team deathmatch. On the PC server could hold 64 players, but on the Xbox it was just limited to 8. You had the Soviet campaign, British campaign, American campaign, and it kind of set the benchmark for the rest of the Call of Duties. I mean, I can't wait until they make some more World War II games with the Xbox One maybe, or with the PlayStation 4. I'm not in either group at the moment. I mean, but you can just imagine this game upgraded with the better graphics and things. I mean, it doesn't look too bad now. I mean, but yeah, one of those games, tear your hair out if you try and do it on veteran. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent game. There are a lot of shooters, first-person shooters on the Xbox 360, and of course this is one of them, and it's a very enjoyable one. Probably noticing that we're going to go to the next game now, because I'm about to die. There we go. Right, so we're into this game. This is actually the third game I bought and purchased. It's Dead or Alive 4. Dead or Alive It's got a bit of a history in fighting games as being quite quick, quite fast, and also quite generous with female proportions, if you see where I'm coming from. Well, that actually sounded wrong, me saying that, but anyway. Again, it came out in America December 30th and in Europe 27th of January, so a little bit later. I don't think it was a launch title. It features, as you can see, and there's probably a few that aren't there, basically featured 22 playable characters. You've got a story mode, you've got time attack, survival mode, versus mode, and Dead or Alive online. I really like the tag feature as well, where you can have two or so people and you just tag them in. Also, you could unlock a Spartan off Halo, Spartan 458. Forgotten her name, but I think she was a lady. I'm not sure what her real name was, but that was her designated number. But and you can also play on the Halo-themed Nassau station in the game. Oh, that's her name, Nicole. Yeah. So that was related. That was and all through this, I'm playing as Ryu Hayabusa, or Ryu Hayabusa, however you want to call his name. It's up to you. And I'm trying to do that move where it's the I've forgotten the move, where you flip them up in the air and then spin them down like a Izuna tornado drop or something that you can do really easily on Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden, however everyone pronounce that. But I just end up failing a lot of the time, and in the next fight I actually get my ass handed to me. But really fun game, nice fighting game, first fighting game I bought on the Xbox 360. Really enjoyed it, very fast. You can see it still lives up. It's quite fast now. The graphics are, a fair bit better on Dead or Alive 5, which only came out last year. I think it came out last year, but I really enjoyed it. Very, very fast. It's a nice change from the racing and the shooting. As you can see, I got absolutely pwned there. But remember, I'm just going through these and playing them for about half an hour, recording some footage. But yeah, it was a really, really fun, enjoyable game, and it's still pretty decent. I mean, a lot of people will say, and this is way before the Street Fighter kind of revival again. So anyway, I keep losing, and so we're going to go to the next video now. Next video, next game. See if you can recognise this next one, just from the music. I left the music in there. What do you reckon? Kind of like a James Bond kind of intro, isn't it? But Joanna Dark, this is Perfect Dark Zero. And shooting some spider bots. Came out in America November 17th, 2005, and I think Europe December 2005. So again, I think this was a launch title, but I got this a bit later. Probably a month or so after I bought my 360, so quite late in the cycle. But then again, I didn't get my Xbox on launch, so yeah. But it was a commercial success. It sold more than 1 million copies worldwide. I don't really understand why they haven't made any more. I mean, I know that Rare. Rare. What happened to Rare? I mean, they have made a few other things, haven't they? Like Banjo-Kazooie, a couple of Banjo-Kazooie games, but 1 million copies. I'm sure there have been other games that only sold 1 million. I say only, that they've made sequels to and things. But and they relaunched the N64 version on the Xbox Live Arcade, and that was a bit of a success as well for them. I mean, I'd love them to make another one. The controls were a bit... I completely fail at this, completely. It was a bit... The roll mechanic was a bit meh. But yeah, the controls were a bit weird. Like Call of Duty 2 controls were solid, very solid. But these were a bit strange. didn't really work. I mean, it might have been something to do with the latency or something like that, but I could never really get on that well with the controls. Then you had this cover system as well. It was a bit. It's a nice implementation.
You can always hide to attack it. Huh? Thought this route was secure. You want to take him out from cover?
But again, first-person shooter with some third-person elements in it. But you can't jump. But you can climb obstacles. You could only carry a certain number of weapons. It's a 4-slot system. I mean, some weapons would take up more slots. Like, and some weapons had these really cool secondary features, like that one makes you go invisible. And then there's another one that I think you throw and it becomes a turret. And you have this locking, this pick-locking device type thing. It's pretty cool. Multiplayer, you could have 32 players in numerous types of deathmatch. I mean, that's a lot. I can't remember playing too much multiplayer.
Now for the job. Our employer wanted you to deliver a package. It's a cam spy.
Yeah, cam spy. And then I skipped all the rest and just did it to blow up the computer network kind of thing. And I left this little funny scene in because they've got weapons, but it seems like he just gets absolutely. I just love the way that they pull him over, kind of.
Joe, come in. Over.
But yeah.
Damn it, Chandra. Knew I should have rigged those explosives myself.
Hey.
But no, it's quite a decent game for its time, for a launch title, and it did have a lot of players online, so I liked it.
We'll meet up there.
But the achievements were a bit of a pain to get. I didn't get all of them. Some of them were a real pain. But yeah, overall it was quite a decent game back then.
Shoot! Over here! Spider-Bot's got me trapped. Get rid of him, and I can get us out of this place.
So we're going to move to the next game now, and you're probably going to recognise it as soon as it loads up. Yeah. US Army training, Mexican frontier. We're in Mexico, or well, Mexico frontier. So we must. It's third person. Can you recognise it? Yep, that is right. It is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. It's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Ubisoft have made many of these third-person kind of cover games. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think Ubisoft make Rainbow Six Vegas and obviously Splinter Cell, and Assassin's Creed is a big hit for them, even though they're now releasing one every year, which in my opinion is one too many every year, but I'd much prefer an amazing blow your socks off Assassin's Creed game once every 2 years. And I prefer more Ghost Recon. Where did it go? They had the second one that came out, but you know, that was it. Just this one and the second one. I might be wrong there. There might be a more recent one, but these are the only two I can kind of remember. I did manage to complete this on like Elite or the hardest difficulty, so I was quite chuffed with that, and I did enjoy it. It's, you know, you can go co-op as well. You have all your buddies, and here I completely fail at trying to mantle this. I don't know how I do it or or anything. But anyway, this is just like the little tutorial mission. It was very, very forgiving compared to other Ghost Recon games in the past. You can survive several bullets before dying, of which you will see in a moment when I completely fail on this next bit. Basically relies more on tactical combat than arcade run and gun shooting. A lot of the weapons also were based on real weapons. The Scar, the MRC, the Scar and the Beretta M9, and then there's the MRC, which were just prototype weapons. Again, this game came out later on, about March time in America and for Europe. But it was really cool because you could have your squad and give them orders, get them into cover, get them to take out targets. Some very good moments in the game where you call in jets. That might be the second one, forgive me if I'm wrong, but get them to take out vehicles. You give them loadouts like the javelin, or well, maybe not RPG, but definitely there's javelins and things. So, and then I love these ammo containers. I do question if they have these in real life, whether the chopper just drops them in a random place and then someone can just go up and put a code in and open them. See, like, I completely fail there. So I've got my grenades, smoke grenades, try and throw them out. But yeah, the co-op was good, the multiplayer was very good. It's very eclectic kind of group that play Ghost Recon. The same for Rainbow Six, to be honest. You really need to have a good clan together, and it's very squad-based tactical game, tactical shooter. It's not you turn around a corner and you shoot someone and they shoot you. It's not that. You've got to be very tactical and think about your moves, think about your loadouts, think about your positioning, your flanks. It is a thinking man's game, definitely. Well, it wasn't there, was it? I mean, that's not a very good example, but yeah. No, I really liked it. It was another good change from the other games that you've seen, and my first experience of a Ghost Recon game. Never played another one in the series, not even on PlayStations or the Nintendo or anything like that. So it was my kind of first experience of it, and I really enjoyed it. I love the colours, I love the enemies, I love the, how everything is kind of highlighted like that. It's very decent. Yeah, the graphics aren't that good anymore compared to other games, but I liked it. I thought it was another great game.
Now take aim and use the launcher to destroy the vehicle.
And I completely fail here because I forget what is taking cover, and as you can see, it's very forgiving. And I almost die there. But yeah, I think that would have killed me a long time ago. But then I just start laughing at the way he's crawling around and things. It's just, but that's me being immature. Anyway, I managed to get up and blow it up. But anyway, that's the end of this little part 1. I hope you join me for part 2, where I'll give you a bit of a preview for what I'll be talking about. Yep, thanks for watching. Thank you for subscribing. It does help. Join me next time in part 2, when I will be talking about Fight Night Round 3, Burnout Revenge, Quake 4, Far Cry, Instincts Predator, and Tomb Raider. Thanks for watching. Take care.